And viewers, jumping straight on into our first interview, first guest for this morning. I am being joined by the newly re-elected Vice Chairman of the Tobago Division of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, and that is Mr. Demi Cruickshank. Good morning and welcome to you, and congratulations officially on your re-election.
Good morning to you, Kandace. Good morning to the whole of Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, and the World Wide Web, who is watching this program. Good morning.
Great to have you. Now, we're starting things off with just dealing with a few issues. Now, we know, for instance, the contractors in Tobago continue to be owed money, and this has been a sore point, especially for the administration and the private sector for the last 2 years. And we've had some progress.
Right. So this is a situation that's been prolonging for about 2 years and about 3 months, basically, since the new administration got in office. Obviously, everybody in Trinidad and Tobago knows that the THA did an audit, a forensic audit into the 3 packages of contracts that was given out by the last administration. We've been fighting with the THA in public and in the background to pay contractors because we understand the situation that people are in. At the end of the day, you could see what people did work, right? So we expected some sort of payment to come in even before now. The THA stood up on their point that they wanted the forensic audit to be completed. And as soon as that was completed, the Chief Secretary called us in and said, listen, the audit is done, we can now proceed. So we sat with him on the 11th of January because we have now from the Tobago division of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, we have set up quarterly meetings with the Executive Council, right? During that period, those months, we will have individual breakout meetings with these other secretaries. So we can talk to them as to what is going on. But, and they did indicate that we are now going to pay some monies, we can't pay all, which you understand.
And just for context, the outstanding bill, and we're talking about a $300 million bill.
It was a $300
for work done in 2021.
Yeah.
So let's go into
So let me tell you what they had done. Yeah. Sometime last year, the THA would have paid, when they got the first audit report, they paid 3 contractors. And they paid them approximately $47 to $50 million, right? Then they paid the agricultural access road contractors, which was about $18 million. So they paid up about $70 million on that $300 million bill. They are now going to pay an additional percentage. They did indicate they will pay between 15 to 20% of, I think it was $170 something million of the other phase of the contract. That was depending on if they had the money. They could have found the money. Subsequently, we've been talking to both the politician and the public servants, and that is why we could have gone publicly and now say, yes, we know the process has started, because we did liaise with some of the senior public officers. They confirmed that, yes, the money, and as long as the public servants tell you, yes, we can go ahead, we felt it was comforting that we could have gone out and said, yes. Then a couple of the contractors called and said, hey, we were contacted by the Division of Infrastructure, and we are actually on site with the engineers doing some evaluations. So the process has started. I am not too sure how much contractors will be paid. I'm not sure what's the quantity, because one public officer, because politicians is one, public servants are a different breed of people that they will be very guarded and cautious. So one senior public servant said, we can't tell the chamber how much we're going to pay XYZ person. Let them come and tell you, which is fair enough, because you have people confidentiality.
Yes.
So because we can't go and say contractor X got $10 million because you are in a sensitive crime time. So we respect them. So some contractors would be paid, and we are hoping by next week, which is month end, that some contractors can get at least a check to start to pay up some of their bills, because a lot of people are really and truly in some bad situations.
And before we get into that part of the conversation, I just want to stick a little bit in even with the public servants and they being able to action out the payments, because we also heard from the Chief Secretary yesterday that the problem with issuing the payments right away from the public servant standpoint is that a lot of the contracts are missing, a lot of the invoices are missing. So, which is why your contractors were contacted to come outside.
Yes, that is correct. A couple of them call and say, listen, we had to go and resubmit our contracts. We had to submit the bill. So one contract will have a bill from another contractor stapled onto it. So the whole thing is in a mess. So they have to try to sort out this whole chaos. So that is why the contractors had to go in with their bills. So I advise some of the contractors, staple your bill to your specific contract. So when you go to the infrastructure division, you don't have to waste time. They know exactly right. So road 1 is for invoice 1. Road 2 is for invoice 2. So I'm hoping that process would have done during this week, right? And then next week, after that evaluation process, I'm not too sure. I'm just hoping that the public servants can really work fast, because this is really and truly, one contractor called me, boy, now this thing is in the public domain. Everybody calling. I can't pay everybody money, but I gotta try to get them something, because it's not just the contractor. Let me tell you how this thing works. So the contractor got a contract. He now he's owing some of these people have never been paid at all, right? So they have the subcontractors who would have brought on the workers. Those subcontractors are now balling because people not been paid for 2 years. Some of the workers have not been paid, been holding on. Then you have the equipment rental people who would have rented excavator, backhoes, trucks. They actually waiting. You have the hardware suppliers like myself who would have given credit to these contractors, right? Because there was a promise to pay within a certain time. So they are owing us money, right? You have the ready-mix people who actually, one man told me he owed one ready-mix man in Tobago $6.5 million. Right? That is not a little bit of money.
That is for THA work.
That's for THA work that was done in 2021. So that ready-mix man who gave a lot of people material, one man alone owe he $6.5 million. So it's not just the contractor. It's a ripple effect of people who are now owed money. And then you have the suppliers in Trinidad who really and truly do not care about your problem. And those people started filing. So in the Tobago space, I know Patrick Parks, I know one of the other contractors, I know Mr. Tam, I know everybody. So I can say, boy, we ain't got nothing yet, hold on. The Trinidadians, on the other hand, don't care about that. You are a promise to pay within 90 days is your maximum. It has now gone to 2 years, and they have filed. They are filing the court. They have gotten judgment. They went to appeal, and some contractors said, well, we had to go to appeal. We know we could not win the appeal. They won the appeal. More interest is put on, and then now those people can, according to one lawyer called me, we are preventing his client from receiving the spoils and the benefits of his judgment, right? Because he wanted to levy on the man. I said, no, he has not been paid. What are you going to levy on him against what? Because he just hasn't been paid. And the lawyer was adamant that you are trying to prevent my client from getting the spoils of his judgment. We're going to levy on the man. The man has no money. So the point of it is that we are happy that this process is now at least going through. All the contractors will not be paid. From what I was told, it's just the first phase, and then you have a second phase of contractors will be paid. So at least some sort of money will come into the economy and start circulating. And because if one man pays one man pay a next man pay, everybody will get a little drop in the bucket, and at least the money will spend.
So at this point in time, I mean, given all the circumstances and even the constraints, are you satisfied about it? Satisfied about the solution? No.
$1 is better than no dollar. You understand? So even though the contractors get $1, it is better than you have not received any money for 2 years and 3 months. And that is my position and the chamber's position. That we've been fighting this fight. And as my chairman said, all the contractors are not members of the chamber, you know. Yeah. The people who may be paid might not be the chamber members, you know. But it's Tobago. And that is what we are fighting for from the chamber, from the Tobago division. So we are happy that some monies, and don't think we will leave it there. When you get your first chance, next month we're going by any chief secretary, when you could pay a little thing again. So if we see some sort of consistency in terms of like a 5 million, hey, you know, we get like a 5 million extra, we get like a, even from the oil spill, Chief Secretary put like $10 million in there for the contractors, you know, when you send your bill to Parliament and you get additional 20 million. So we know after our midterm review, the contractors will get like a 20 million again. It will help. It will help. And the bill, and within, if you spread out this money within the next 2 years or so, and you say, listen, every other quarter you could get like a 10 million, you get 5, the money, it will help. So, and then people will now start to breathe a sigh of relief, because we have met with some of the senior bankers in Trinidad and Tobago. And the reality is that when we started one meeting, one banker indicated the discussion will not go along the THA. We put the THA out of the conversation. I know, we know that they have money for you all. We don't want to hear that. Let us find out how we're going to build Tobago economy out, how we're going to invest, and tell me what are your strategies going forward outside of the THA. And I felt that was comforting, because they are now seeing that we need to build the economy out of Tobago outside of the THA.
And I was going to get into my next set of questions, because, you know, this whole situation, especially when there was, within a space of a year, less than a year, the THA racked up a $300 million bill with contractors, which is in some cases more than the developmental budget that they get on an annual basis. Then it leaves the question now, should the contractors continuously depend on the THA, because that is not sustainable, and it's almost impossible to expect all that money to be paid out when it's even more than their budget.
So now you have two things. You have a $300 million that is owed by the contractors from 2021, the local Tobago contractors, and the other part is the Trinidad contractors being promised jobs of $300 million. So this is a $600 million bill just to start with, as the THA got involved. So the THA is, I would always say, it's up to them how they want to spend the THA money. And I, as one contractor would say, if they want to suffer, we will deal with it politically when the political time comes. That is a political decision that they have to figure out, right? We, as the chamber, now embarking on a number of trade missions outside of Trinidad and Tobago, trying to see if we get some investors to come into the island, right? One person who did a survey in Tobago, that I won't call the company's name, they said that Tobago is one of the most negative islands that they have done a survey on. Total negative. Everything can't work. They went around quietly and talked to the taxi man. What about a massive hotel chain? No, we don't want that. So at this point in time, what has to be done is that we have to find out from the Tobago public and the THA, what is it you really want for Tobago? Because we're going to go out there and sell this place called Tobago and tell investors to come. And when the investors come here, then the Tobago public saying, we don't want you here because we have a THA job. And you know, the sore point and the pet peeve is really and truly Sanders. Sanders was turned away from Tobago. I don't care what people thought it was. From a business point of view, the island would have been booming, right? Right now. Because it would have been the largest beaches and the largest Sanders resort you would have had in the whole Caribbean, right? Sanders left us and they are in St. Vincent. And I'm now getting invitations to attend their opening ceremony in St. Vincent, right? And they are saying, come and see how Sanders do business. That is what the email said. And one of the guys sent an email. I'm sending an invitation specifically to you, sir, to come and see how we do business. And this is what Tobago missed out, right? So we're going on this trade show. We're going to Ghana. The Ministry of Trade in Trinidad is mounting a trade show from the 10th of March to the 17th of March. We are going there. But before we leave here, we need to find out from the Chief Secretary what is the status on the land license? Because we're not going and tell people come here, and when they reach here, then they say, hey, you're like jokers.
Well, we're going to stick a pin right here because I know that's another discussion I want to get into. We really do need to unpack it, but we got to go for a quick break and we'll be right back right after this.